Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our brand new tutorial series, Solana Brain Food. Today, in the fourth episode of the series, we explore one way of tracking all the NFTs sold in a day on Tensor. So, let's get right into it. In the demo we see a list of NFTs sold on Tensor, with various details such as the details of the NFT sold, the parties involved, the marketplace details, and the selling price. Now let's see how we can build something similar to this. The first step involves getting all transactions for the Tensor protocol. We will make an HTTP request to SHYFT's transaction/history API with Tensor's address as a parameter. Once successful, SHYFT returns an array of transactions for the requested account, which in our case is the Tensor protocol address. All transactions received from SHYFT APIs are pre-parsed and human-readable. Hence, we can directly collect event-related information from the transactions without any further processing. For our use case, we are only interested in NFT sale events occurring in a particular day. Since SHYFT returns the event transactions in a paginated manner, we can go ahead and keep fetching transactions until we collect all the transactions for a particular date. Once complete, we can now filter out transactions which are of the NFT sale type. We can then store the resultant transactions in an array or a database for further processing. For the final step, we render the event transactions collected in the previous step to the front end. Pre-parsed transactions from SHYFT reduces the extra parsing overhead, and the details can be displayed with minimal formatting. Now, let's dive into the code. The initial step involves retrieving all transactions related to the Tensor protocol, and one of the easiest methods to achieve this is by utilizing SHYFT's transaction/history API. This API takes in a few parameters such as the Solana network cluster, the account address for which we are fetching the transactions, the TX num, the before TX signature, and most importantly, the XAPI key parameter in the header, which is used as an authentication parameter by SHYFT. You can get your own API key from the SHYFT website for free. We create a function to retrieve all transactions for the Tensor protocol on a specific date. We have used JavaScript fetch to make the API request, but you can use any HTTP client of your choice. Alternatively, SHYFT's JS SDK for Solana, which is well equipped with various Solana-related functionalities, can also be used. When you provide Tensor's account address as a parameter, the transaction/history API returns an array of parsed Tensor events as transactions. Since the response received is paginated, we have to make the API request repeatedly until we collect all transactions for a particular day. We stop fetching transactions once we receive no transactions from the API, or we have received all transactions for the specified date. Once we've gathered all the transactions for the specified date, we're prepared to filter them accordingly. For our use case, we are solely interested in NFT sale events. Since the transactions received from SHYFT APIs are pre-parsed and human-readable, we can effortlessly extract crucial information, such as the transaction type, buyer, seller, NFT address, marketplace address, and the sale price. We can then filter out the transactions of type NFT sale and compressed NFT sale and store them in an array for further processing. With the NFT sale events filtered and sorted out, we can directly present this information to the user in a visually appealing and user-friendly format, allowing them to easily gain insights on the NFT sales, parties involved, details of the marketplace, and sale prices. Owing to SHYFT's parsed transactions, we can do so with very minimal formatting. We can also fetch the details of the NFT being sold using SHYFT's NFT/read API. Thus, we see the seamless extraction and presentation of transaction details is possible owing to SHYFT's pre-parsed transactions. This can be particularly useful in applications which aim to offer transparency and insights for NFT sales on Tensor, as well as in marketplaces where the ability to track NFT sales over time holds significant importance. That's all for today's video. If you found this content valuable, feel free to check out this project on GitHub. The links are available in the description. Your support means a lot to us, so please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, suggestions, or topics you'd like us to cover in future videos, please drop them in the comments section below. We will be back soon with another episode of Solana Brain Food. Until then, bye-bye.